get started with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's called to order.
Commissioner Case.
Present.
Commissioner Garavilla. Present. Commissioner Story. Commissioner Cochran.
Present.
Mayor Messerschmidt.
In front of you, you have a copy of the minutes from the regular meeting 2 Mondays ago. No edits from what I see, so I make a motion we approve the minutes from the regular meeting from January 8th as presented.
I second it.
Commissioner Case.
Yes.
Commissioner Garavilla.
Yes.
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes.
And then you'll also see the minutes from the continued meeting from January 12th, that Friday morning, where we just paid bills. That was the only action item. I make a motion we approve that as
I'll
presented.
second.
Commissioner Case.
Yes.
Commissioner Garavilla.
Yes.
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes.
Public property, Commissioner Griffin.
Okay, I have my purchase orders. B is discussion and approval of the Cozy Club participation, and that is with RSP Heating and Cooling. And what that does is to provide us with ongoing inspections of the units out there for heating and cooling. It will cost $478 for both systems, and that will cover 2 of the 30-point inspections. And you have a copy there of the items that's covered in that. And 30-point inspections, and then 20% discount on repairs and accessories, discounted service fees during and after business hours, and priority service as well. And I think that's something that is a reasonable thing for us to have out there, and I make a motion that that be approved.
I'll second.
Commissioner Case.
Yes.
Commissioner Garavilla.
Yes,
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes.
and that's all I have.
Okay. Streets improvements, Commissioner Cochran.
I don't have any purchase orders that I'm aware of, or pool adjustments or lake lot leases. I do have a pay estimate for our contractor, Jeff Wiggs, on a project, for our 8-inch water main on Petroff Road, for the estimates for $290,005.20. I would like to make a motion to approve that pay estimate.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Case.
Yes.
Commissioner Garavilla.
Yes.
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes. And that's all I have.
Commissioner Cochran, if you wanna let Craig know, to let Jeff know that we're getting paid tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
We want-
Okay.
Yep, that everything was good to go on the line of credit. We got everything transferred over, so we got a check ready for him and can finally get him paid.
I'd be more than glad to do that.
I'm sure you'd be really happy about it too.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Commissioner Stories.
Commissioner Case. Under Commissioner Story, folks, there's no purchase order updates tonight. There is a note, and you'll see in your file dated January 17th, 2024 from Chief Funkhauser, indicating that on May 24th, longtime officer Roger Brent Earthall intends to retire from the department. So I think tonight what we would need to do is just allow the police department with Chief Funkhauser to move forward in the process of going through whether it end up being a lateral hire through the merit system to get the ball rolling to move forward with his replacement. Is that kind of, Chief, what you're looking at?
Yes. I'll make a motion that we accept Brent Earthall's retirement letter. It'll be effective May 24th, 2024. I make a motion we accept that with regret.
I'll say it.
Commissioner Case.
Yes.
Commissioner Garavilla.
Yes.
Commissioner Cochran.
Yes.
It looks like Commissioner Case, that's all that's under Commissioner Story for this
Okay.
evening.
Anything to add, Chief?
No.
Okay. Quiet, easy. One payroll, dated for the 19th, everyone got paid. breakdowns of $83,976.68 from the general fund, $27,949.10 from water and sewer, totaling $111,925.78. I make a motion, we pay the payroll as presented.
I second it.
Commissioner Case?
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia?
Yes.
Commissioner Cochran?
Yes.
Nothing, no bills, we did that weeks ago. Item C, discussion and approval of a catastrophic event policy. This kind of came up, last week. I had an employee who suffered a pretty, large loss of their home. This is essentially, think of it as a bereavement policy, but for catastrophic loss of your dwelling or main living quarters. It's kind of a blanket policy we can offer to all of our employees. There's no picking and choosing of who gets a couple of days or who doesn't. But essentially what this does is this entitles our employees up to 24 consecutive hours. So it's with the way all of our departments are, there's no one size fits all policy when it comes to differentiating shifts, since you guys work on 10s and the fire department works on a 24 and everybody else in City Hall and Public Works works on 8s. So this entitles our employees up to 24 consecutive hours off from regularly scheduled duty with regular pay in the event of a catastrophic casualty loss suffered due to a terrorist attack, fire, or natural disaster. An employee must incur an uncontrollable loss that displaces them from their home or living quarters. Employees are limited to one use of the policy in a 365-day period. They do not have to have benefit time remaining in order to use this policy. So let's think of that as a bereavement, like bereavement. We don't require them to use their paid time off in concurrence with this, but they are more than welcome if they, because typically, and it's been a long time since I've dealt with this, but you lose your home or you have a pretty significant loss, you're dealing with insurance companies the first couple of days, trying to get things moving, get you at least somewhere where you can put your head down. So I felt that this was something that we could extend to our employees, and I'm sure there'll be some tweaks with this policy along the way, but try to eliminate any type of abuse from it. And it also doesn't, the execution of this policy, it's based on the base rate of pay, and it does not include any overtime, holiday, or shift differentials. It's straight base pay.
Okay.
So I'm happy to answer any additional questions if you guys have any.
Looks good.
No, I think it's very reasonable.
So if that's the case,
Very fair to read.
then I make the motion to approve the catastrophic event leave policy as it is presented in your folders.
I second it. You did a good job.
Thank you.
Commissioner Case?
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia?
Yes.
Commissioner Cochran?
Yes, and thank you, Commissioner.
No problem. And like I said, this is a nice policy to put in place for our employees, and it's, again, there's no one size fits all policy, but, in event of a disaster or something like that, we can make sure that our employees have some additional tools afforded to them in their time of need. So that is all I have from my chair tonight.
Thanks.
It's all you got.
As far as myself or the mayor, I don't see any updates. There is a purchase order in your file. You'll see 673 is the number. It's a service contract for 5 years for 2 doors here at City Hall from Stanley Doors, $116 per year. So basically that'd be $232 a year, but it comes out to $1,160 for 5 years. And that would begin on 1/30/124 and end on 1/30/29. So we need a motion and a second to approve that purchase order.
I'll make that motion.
I second it.
Commissioner Case?
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia?
Yes.
Commissioner Cochran?
Yes.
Under C on the mayor, it talks about discussion and or approval of amending Sunday license options. This is in reference to the liquor license. On Sundays for years in Benton, unless you were just a packaged liquor store, you weren't allowed to be open. Then we amended it to allow clubs, which was a Class C. And then in 19, we amended it to allow any pouring establishment to be open on Sundays within our hours of regulation. What the mayor was asking for this evening is to not only have it where you can be open every Sunday for $1,200, but kind of give them the best of both worlds. Go back to also offering them to be open on a Sunday for $50 per Sunday, which was how we had done it for years. And most places, and there used to be a cap on it. I think his position is let's not put a cap on it. So what would typically happen is bars would be open, say, for the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. They may be open for the Super Bowl, the Daytona 500. I'm trying to think of events that I remember folks coming in to get licensed. So that's what this is going to allow is the folks that don't want it every time. They don't want 52 Sundays, but maybe they're going to use 2 or 3. So we need a motion to amend Article 3 for the hours of operation to 21-3-1 to allow both options for the license holders. That motion.
A second.
Thanks.
Commissioner Case?
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia?
Yes.
Commissioner Cochran?
Yes.
And I think we had talked, with no cap, like it doesn't matter if they hit the 1,200, they go over unless they wanna buy
It really would make more sense to buy the year.
Right, but there are some, I could see some particular places that,
Maybe 3 or 4 times a year.
3 or 4 times a year they have something, so it's not indicative of them to go after and spend 1,200 when they can spend 2, so.
Right. The other thing the mayor has under 9D is a approval, discussion for donation of American flags through the American Legion. It looks like they are requesting a donation of $500 or any amount that this council would feel fair to approve. They do make a note on here that this month that they spent $350 to replace some of the flags that had become unusable. So I think basically they're looking for a donation up to $500 from the city to help display the flags, during the appropriate holidays during the year. So if there's a number, an amount, and a second to do that, that'd be nice.
Go with 500.
I think we should.
Full
I
request.
think they've got a lot of good participation. I think some of the cheerleaders help them over the years. I mean, the Elks did it for years and
Looks
different
good in the community.
organizations. It really looks good in our town. It
Yeah.
really does. So, yeah, I think 500 is appropriate.
Yeah, so I'll make a motion that we approve the request from the American Legion Auxiliary for $500.
And I'll second.
Commissioner Case?
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia?
Yes.
Commissioner Cochran?
Yes.
And on E, this is hiring a new code enforcement officer, and the mayor's recommendation to me was, since we only have 3 council members here this evening, that should be tabled, and I know that's involves you, Brian. Is that your recommendation as well?
That would be my recommendation as well.
So we need a motion, a second to table 9E.
I'll make a motion to table 9E.
I second
Commissioner Case?
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia?
it. Yes.
Commissioner Cochran?
Yes.
Commissioner Case, I believe that's all that the mayor has this evening.
Okay. Any miscellaneous business from anyone?
We're going to donate to Twin Oaks, and we're gonna donate to, certificates for rental of Twin Oaks during the week to
Okay.
the chamber for their chamber event this coming up this Thursday. And we typically do that, and, the value of that's total will be
We're doing
$200.
a gift certificate for the real,
Yes.
for the chamber auction. Okay.
Yes, it's
Okay.
for their chamber auction.
It's a good idea.
Yes.
Good. Any old business? Any new business? Anything from the public? Only thing I have, had a lot of people in town last week with BIT, had really good crowds, felt like most nights. So, I'm anxious to see kind of what the high school puts together as far as what their attendance was once it gets finalized, but things like that are just fantastic for our community. I mean,
It had to help a lot of restaurants and,
They were busy.
wow.
absolutely, and again, that's coming off the back of a big Christmas tournament we had
Yeah.
at the end of December. So, I mean, you can't discount the economic impact that our school of 580 has, especially with the facilities we have, so, the Rangers got it done, which was even more exciting, so.
Well, I know the guys in the water department was working night and day trying to keep us in water.
They've been busy.
It was really scary last week down on Grand Street where we had the main line down, and they got it back on. I was looking at Craig's phone on the water tower, and it was going down in a hurry. So, I know they fixed one Sunday down on Maple Street, actually in front of our treasurer's house, in front of Lisa's house. They called me and said they're gonna try to wait till Sunday, so it warmed up a little bit. Cause they can't use some of the equipment when it's so cold.
Right.
But I just know they're having a tough time, and that they're just going out every day and trying to keep us going, so.
Just plugging along, yeah, they had one on South Main, what was that, Thursday?
Yeah, that was another one. We don't have that release on South Main.
No,
not
it's
on
just-
East, but
Just kind of terrible.
yeah, they're hanging in there, so.
Alright, no use for, item 14, no executive session, so if there's nothing else from anybody, need a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Yeah, I'll second.
Commissioner Case?
Yes.
Commissioner Garvelia?
Yes.
Commissioner Cochran?
Yes, it's gotta be a record, it's gotta be a record, don't it?
14.
Nothing, right?
Nothing,
I know.